Yo, 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 what's good, everybody? It's your boy Othree. Welcome back to Platicas. This is Platica number 17. I'm here with a special guest, my boy Willie P. Will Altier. Um, we go way back, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself before we get the show on the road.
What's up, y'all? Yeah, Will. It's what is it? 7:30 in Denmark right now. That's where I'm currently residing. Yeah, I live here with my wife, Christine. We just got married a few months back, and we're both chefs. We're both cooks. That's what we do for a living. That's not the main reason we're out here, but maybe we'll get into that a little bit more. But yeah, this is our resting place for the moment. And yeah, but I'm happy to be here, happy to be on this pod. It's funny, you're out of like any corporate life when you pick up your laptop and you got dust all over it,
Yeah.
and like
Uh,
the it's only working with the cable plugged in, like the battery plugged
one
in
of
it.
those and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I haven't downloaded Zoom since I think 2021, so I had to get that back up. Yeah, no, but it's good to be here and excited to have a little chat, little catch up with Omar. Yeah.
Yeah, I got people from Europe on my podcast. What the fuck? I saw YouTube. Now I'm playing. I met my boy Willie P. when I was a student. We were both students at Ohio Wesleyan University, OWU, both members of Phi Delta Theta, PDT. But our relationship goes way deeper than that, right? My best friend in college, and he been there. He been there in some of the rowdiest moments. He saw 95% of the rowdiest moments of my life in college, and that 5% is because he wasn't there. So he was there, and not naughty. He was there most of the nights, majority of the nights. But it was a fucking pleasure. It was an honor. It was a fun time being there at the same time. It was meant to be. But we'll talk about OWU in a bit. I want to ask you about family, dog. Like, what is your definition of family?
I guess, yeah, my definition of family would be, I think the people in your life that like you want the absolute best for, and then they feel the same about you. And you can also like look at the other side of that and be like the people in your life that you want the least amount of suffering for too. So
Hmm.
it's like, so it's like it's true. It's you can say that very lightly, but it also comes with a bit of responsibility. Upholding your end of the bargain in the family, making sure like you're doing well because you can't support anybody else unless you're doing well yourself. And then, taking care of yourself and taking care of any needs anyone in that family might have. And yeah, I mean, for example, it's like there's this one meditation, it's called metta meditation, and it's where you pick a person that you wish just true happiness for. And like for me, like the first person or people that come to mind is just like, all right, my family, one of my family members, like right away. Or, my wife Christine, who's now family for me. And it's just you say, I wish you happiness and I wish you to be free of suffering. And like, you know, me being away from home right now for so long, like I'm lucky that my family's doing well and being healthy. And it's like that alone for me is just that keeps me going because like sometimes I imagine if one of my family's sick or someone's really not doing well that I would feel guilt being away or something. I would feel even more detached because I can't be there physically, you know. But I think to be in a family, you don't necessarily have to be there physically, being there emotionally, I think, is a lot more important. Uh, and also, uh, you know, if one person in the family is being weighed down by something, I think that also weighs down a lot of the other family members too. So you can almost think of it as like a web or like a net. So it's like if everyone's up, everyone's doing good, everyone's rising, that's a good family unit, a cohesive unit. And then, someone's coming down or someone's not doing well, I think that net dips down too and everyone follows. So I think it takes the whole group in order for that family to function properly. Yeah.
Being Mexican or a Chicano dog, Mexican American, or whatever the label is, my family's from Mexico. I could trace my family back so long.
Mm.
And I think one of the biggest, I think most important like institutions in Mexican culture is the concept of family. And it is
Mm-hmm.
that. Like, I think for me, though, like, I'm not really connected with my family in Mexico, right? When I
Mm.
think of family, I think about my mom, my dad, my brother,
Me too. Yeah.
right? But my mom and my dad, they have so many fucking. They're my family members too, obviously, right? But it's so fucking spread out, dog,
Mm.
that like for me, if my parents are good and my brother's good, I'm good,
Mm-hmm.
right? But my mom, if she has a fucking second cousin that's in a random ass ranch fool in fucking Mexico,
Yeah.
she's suffering,
Mm-hmm.
because that concept of family is so
Mm-hmm.
like massive. Families are so massive, but just being like, I think that's one of the, I don't want to say one of the negative parts about being able to trace back your family, but that suffering, that threshold is just such a fucking, like
Yeah.
depending on how you look at it, right? It's either high or low, right? I just feel like to me, the less family I have, the less, I mean, it's kind of fucked up to say, but the less you suffer.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, I got a small family too. I had zero first cousins, and like, also my parents are divorced, so it's kind of like a bit more spread out. Everybody's in a different place in the U.S. too. Like brothers in Boston, other brothers in Virginia, mom's in Virginia, and dad's in Jersey. I'm in Europe. Like we're all spread out so much, but it's still a small unit. It's not like I got to make calls, but it's not like
Yeah,
I got to
fool.
call like 20 different people. It's like it's still manageable to be able to stay in touch, and but it's great to stay in touch. It's rewarding. I mean, I could be better, obviously. Mainly with my brothers. I talk to them a little bit less than my parents, but you know, yeah, it's I'm kind of blessed to have a small family at the same time. Everyone's like talks about their cousins. I used to be jealous. I was like, damn, like everyone's got cousins. Like there's so many of you. Like that's crazy. But now at this point in life, I'm like, I'm good. I'm good with what I got. Yeah.
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 I have two of my older two cousins, like they're like my older brothers too. So it wouldn't be fair for them to me not to include them. But outside of that, like my mom, my dad, my brother, my two cousins,
Mm,
I feel like everything after that is like on a second degree of family.
yeah.
And I have conversations with my mom. It's not like a debate. It's just always like, mom, like, wait, you suffer so much. Like you suffer so much. I get it. You have a lot of siblings. Same with my dad. You got a lot of siblings. I get it. But to be able to share the pain with second cousins and like family members from fucking different parts of the world, and it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's a
Mm,
blessing because you have a big family and the unit is bigger, and then there's a lot of uh like when the parties, like it's beautiful when everybody gets
mm,
together and it's all beautiful. But when it comes to like the negative, the bad parts of life, like the suffering and shit,
hmm
the suffering travels so much.
yeah.
how
and it
like
causes like ripple effects, like
yeah, you feel me? And so like
waves.
how
Yeah,
something in a random part of Mexico in Guanajuato, like that's where my family's from, travels all the way to Los Angeles.
yeah.
You know, or like I got tios like uncles in like different parts of the country, like it travels back to LA. Whereas for me, like it starts and ends in LA. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know? Does that mean that I don't love my family? No, I love my family, dog, and it's cool. And I love my family, my cousins, all my family from Mexico and different parts of the world. But it's just you save yourself so much like stressful. Like
Mm.
you're so much more relieved when your family is smaller.
Yeah.
And you're able to unite more, fool. You're able to unite a lot more. There's a
True.
lot
Yeah.
less bullshit to worry about.
Smaller group chat.
Yeah, yeah. It
Yeah.
is a smaller group chat, you know. I mean, now like I have one of my cousins. She's staying here at her pad, full with like her kids, and I'm not gonna be a dick fool. And I'm not gonna like treat them like family. You feel me?
Mm.
Like they're here, so like if they're here, they're part of my family. Like I treat them like they're my part of my family, and I don't see them any different. But anybody
Right.
else outside of this home, or like my two cousins or their mom and their sister that lives like 15 minutes away, everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you about your family because I had the privilege to meet your mom, your dad, your older brother. I didn't get to, I don't think I met your oldest brother.
I don't think so either. Maybe not. He knows all about you though.
And I got the fucking the luxury and the privilege to be able to stay at both of their houses, fool, in Jersey. Right, I got
Hmm.
to experience both of them. Your pops, fucking dope ass food, dog. The big homie.
Hmm.
Your mom's
Yeah.
dope as fuck, dog. Like I mean, I stay at your mom's house, fool, in Jersey and shit.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, dog. Like for Thanksgiving, it was like a fucking both those trips were beautiful,
Yeah.
dog. But let's talk about like your relationship with your mom and then your
Hmm.
relationship with your dad. Like, how is that? Like, first of all, where's your mom from? And then let's talk about your relationship with your mom.
And my mom's from Long Island, New York. Glen Cove is the town. Uh, so she's I guess that's like an hour east of the city on Long Island. So yeah, she grew up out there with her mom and dad. She went to like all girls school, played field hockey, lots of sports. Um, and yeah, she eventually then moved into New York City after college, and then that's where she met my dad. And yeah, so she always been very into athletics, uh, specifically like basketball. Basketball is like one of our favorites, like I think our favorite sport as a family. Always has been. Big Knicks fans. R.I.P. It was a good season.
They just lost, fool. That's sad.
No, I'm proud of the team, man. We did well. Hey, it's all good. Yeah. No, but yeah. So very athletic background. Uh, her parents were, her mom was her field hockey coach in high school, and she was a damn good coach too. She had like an insane record. I forget what it was, but and then her dad, he was in the military in World War II, in like a submarine guy. So yeah, he went to Notre Dame, so got some legacy there in terms of like athletics and just like scholarship and kind of discipline too, uh, in terms of you know showing up on time to things and being respectful and also having a good family unit. My mom's big on that. So anyway, yeah, she met my dad, and yeah, I guess I'll move on to my dad too. Uh, he's from Lincroft or Red Bank, New Jersey, excuse me, and he grew up with a big family, like 5 kids. And his dad, my grandfather, was a lawyer in New York City, and grandma was she just stayed at home, Grammy. And they had, I mean, what I know about their life is that it sounded super fun. Like they had a nice place, nice house, and the kids just like were outdoors all the time playing, and like big big community like on their street and everything. Um, yeah. The thing is like sometimes I don't even know or didn't go that deep into asking my parents like about their childhoods and how they were raised. I don't know. At some point, like I don't know, we didn't really have those deep discussions. You know, we didn't get there with certain things.
Yeah.
But I know my dad, he was also an athlete. He was a wrestler, played uh yeah, he wrestled, he played baseball too. And then he was also in a band. Yeah,
uh,
with some of his brothers and stuff. Yeah. And then yeah, they eventually met, wanted to start a family. Um I guess my brother was born in New York, and then they eventually moved out to the suburbs to New Jersey to start their just like family unit life. And then yeah, had me or had my brother Connor after Rob, and then eventually me. 2 years separate each of us, roughly. Yeah. So we
cool.
were yeah, a young family at that point, and I don't know, dad working hard. He's into the technology, like computers, and he can program like a whiz. And yeah, my mom, she was a stay-at-home mom, but she was also extremely into horticulture, like the study of plants. And she's still into that today, which I think is so dope. And actually recently she came and visited us here, and we took her to the botanical garden,
Hmm.
and it was like having our own tour guide. She was like, "Oh, this is." She gave the Greek name, and she's like, "This is." She gives the Greek name and then say what it's good for, and then
Just
an
knowledge.
interesting, and then just an interesting fact. Me and Christine were like, "Yes, we got we get the grand tour here." Yeah, so that's cool. She's still into that, still does gardening and stuff at where she lives. And also my dad is still a whiz with with computers and accounting too, and all things finance. So I'm lucky to be raised by some interesting some
Like,
interesting folks.
I like to ask my guests about the roots because I think another one, like a big family value, like something that we value here in my family, dog, is knowing where we come from, right?
Mm,
Knowing our roots. So my parents, we've been here in LA in South Central since my brother was born, since they got here, when they came here from Mexico. But ever since we were little kids, it was always like instilled in us. It was like, we're from here in Mexico, and you got family here in this part of Mexico.
mm.
And it's always been able to trace it back, right? I'm first generation. Obviously, it's easier, you know. Um, and we've had talks here and there, but like you said, you never really got to that point with your parents, because you could look at a last name, or you could look at, features and be like, oh, maybe I'm from here, from there, dog. Is that like something that
Mm.
you've ever thought about? Like maybe like, how fools be doing the fucking 21, 23 and me, whatever the fuck that shit's called?
Yeah, I've thought about doing it. I mean, I don't think I ever got around to it. And so I think they say it should be like I would be the one that would do it in my family too, since I'm like the youngest, and I think I'm like the last line of genes in our unit. So it's like I think whatever would show through the most in me. I think for the family, I think that's how it goes. I don't know. I never got around to doing it, but yeah, a part of me still is like, what, like what? Who was my great grandfather? Like, I don't know a damn thing about him on both sides. I think it's and I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. It's just like we never got around to it. It's like maybe it's not a value for us uh, in our family that is something we really need to know in order for our lineage to go on. Uh, and I think a lot of our families now at this point where I just got married, my brother's got two kids now, Rob, and then Connor, he's got like a girlfriend who he's in love with, and they're doing great. Like our family right now is in like a creating stage.
Mm.
It's like, my parents are their grandparents now, and we've also, our family, my parents got divorced, so it's like when I was like 11, 12, 13, 14, it was a big chunk of my life where it was happening, and we put that behind us at this point. It was rough and shit was it was not fun for anybody in the family, but at this point it's like my parents like get along, like they can speak to each other, which is amazing. Uh, and we we've just moved on from that at this point, and we don't really focus on the past as much at this. You know, we're all about current and future family now, which I think is also important and something that really shouldn't be overlooked. Where or instead of like getting stuck on where I come from, although it's interesting, you can't deny it. There's some sort of it's a weird interest too. It's almost like a magical kind of. It's almost like how I felt at Fidel learning about like all the old ancient stuff. It's like, oh, that like
Yeah.
so people did that stuff here. It's like they did that stuff here. It's like, wow, okay, that's cool. It's like a wondrous kind of thing, It tickles you somewhere that's like magical in a way,
I just feel
because we
like
made it. So
go ahead.
because we made it here, it's like
Yeah.
somebody did something in our past in order for us to be here. So it's like, wow, they must have done all right, and they must have been pretty cool too, because we turned out normal somehow. So it's like,
Yeah. Uh,
yeah, yeah,
I just feel like the more family oriented you are, I feel like the bigger that urge to understand and know is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you're always on some fucking, we gotta make money, we're for the future. You're not gonna give a fuck about the past, dog. Like,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? Because there's a thing about not caring about the past, and then there's another thing about like understanding what the past is. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always that curiosity, dog. That's always gonna be there. And for me, I know where my grandparents are from, but there's always that like next level like
mm,
curiosity for me. Is like, where are my great grandparents from?
yeah.
Like
It
that,
won't stop. Yeah,
it won't stop. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
and my parents, I'm blessed. My parents are like historians when it comes to shit like that, so they'll know.
Oh, it's
So
cool though. Yeah.
so I'll like I told myself like at some point I want to get them on record, like on video, not like post it anywhere, but just like do
Mm,
like a podcast interview with them,
mm,
and then just ask them about their childhood, their my grandparents, because I didn't get to meet my dad's dad. Like he died when my dad
mm,
was 10, and to like have them talk about their life, and then talk about what they know about their fucking grandparents.
yeah.
Like that would be dope as fuck. Because then it's like all that happened, and then boom, here we are, and here's fucking O3 dog living in South Central doing what he fucking does. You know what I'm saying?
Like, where the fuck did this food come from? Like,
Yeah, like where did like how the fuck there was something in me that
yeah.
forced me to go to Ohio, dog. Right? Like
Mm-hmm.
who knows? Maybe one of my ancestors was a big traveler, dog. My grandpa used to travel different places to perform. You know what I'm saying? Like
You're like, why are you so into music and that shit? Like
Yeah,
the
it's my
creativity
grandpa.
aspect. It's
Yeah,
like,
my grandpa was a musician. So it's like there's like those little, the more you look inside, the more curious you are to know about the people
yeah.
behind your ancestors. And I think I'm at that stage in my life where it's like, I love my homies, dog, and I love my peoples, but I want to know more about me, dog. Like I want to know about
Mm,
the roots a little bit more because there's knowledge of the roots, like, okay, I'm from here, but then there's like deep knowledge where it's like,
yeah.
this is what this person was into, because I growing up was like, oh yeah, your grandma, that's your grandma, you know, and I never got to ask him, was like, oh hey grandma, like, who were you at 15?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like
Like they
I
were
thought about that
15 in the
recently
50s, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? In Mexico, that's a different fucking culture, dog.
for sure. The thing is, yeah. Yeah, I didn't yeah, but all my grandparents have passed now, but my mom's parents, they passed my grandma on my mom's side, she passed before I was born, and then my grandpa passed when I was 2. So, I didn't see them at all. But I thought about my grandma on my dad's side who passed when I was I think 16, 15, 16. So I was kind of just on that cusp of like, I don't know, being analytical into things and like really in, having interests in like finding out more about things. And looking back, I was like, damn, like I wish I had a couple more years with her just to like really absorb the kind of woman she was. She was a strong woman in a lot of ways, a stubborn, strong woman. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, and she had my dad who's like this, you know, genius, honestly, in my eyes. Like, and he is so successful. So that comes from somewhere. And like, I, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I wish I could go back and like tell my 16-year-old self, it's like when you're like care about those moments more, man. Like when you go for like a little holiday dinner, like that shit is that's so important.
I think
Yeah.
the more knowledge of self you become to discover, and the more at peace you become with life, it makes you understand. This is my perspective. I feel like I understand my parents a little bit more now.
Mm,
I'm not a father. I don't have any kids. Yeah, I do work with the youth and shit, but they're not, direct descendants from me. So I look at my parents as like, you're this way for a reason,
mm,
and you taught me this for a reason. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's like, thank you, right? And then, but then
Yeah.
at the same time, you see their flaws. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
and it's not about blaming them. It's about understanding where some of your own flaws come from.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
I'm this because of you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I still love you for it, and I don't blame you for it. I get it. I
Yeah.
understand why you're that way because when you're at my point in life, like when you were 29, you were going through this. Like that's where the curiosity comes from. It's like, yeah, I do want to know where like the different parts of Mexico I'm from, but I rather understand like how they were as people.
Yeah. Like how
Like,
do they deal with their problems when they
yeah,
were
yeah. It's like, okay,
yeah.
yeah, we're Mexican. That's cool. That you can't remove that. But who were you?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm,
take the Mexican away, take the fucking the gender, the sexuality, all the sociological categories that we fall into, take all that away, and who are you?
yeah.
Right? And that's where I'm at with human psychology, is like, who are you as a person? Because that's what I'm
Hmm.
I'm discovering myself.
Yeah.
And I've had talks with my mom about it, and when my dad's gonna be a little different, but
Mm,
when my mom was like, who are you? And I try to explain to her my knowledge, and it's easier for her. When my mom is like, she shares a lot, but I'm blessed that they're here. I could talk to them
mm,
about it, but I can't talk to my grandparents about that.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I can't do it with them, but I could do it with my parents. Now I have to, it's my responsibility now when I have kids to teach them my kids is like, okay, yeah, we're Mexican, yeah, you're Chicano, yeah, you're first generation or second generation. Yeah, that's cool. That's
Mm.
dope. But who, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be able to understand who are you?
Yeah,
Because I think that's where the beauty of life is at.
it is. Yeah, but that's good because because then you're gonna be able to pass like I mean pass like the knowledge of your parents down to your kids, and then they'll have a better understanding of themselves, growing up and shit, which is important. 'Cause, like sometimes as kids, like you don't know what the
Yeah,
you don't know who you are. Like
yeah.
you're just a mess. You're just like running around doing whatever your brain is telling you to do, whatever you're trying to seek out. And instead of, if your kid runs into trouble, you could like maybe even give them a lesson on like, yeah, we've all dealt with this shit. Or like, yeah, this is how your grandparents dealt with this. This is how I've dealt with it. Uh, but I think, yeah, I think parenting's changed so much in that regard to like really caring about the psychology of the child, which I think is awesome. Instead of being like, oh, rub some dirt on it. Come on, you don't
Get up,
cry. You're
man up.
like, yeah, yeah. Like, what's going on?
Shit.
That's nice. Yeah.
Because like figuring out who I am. Like I tell people, like I was born to talk, dog. I'm a communicator, fool. That's just been following me my whole life.
Mm,
But at 8 years old, when they told my mom, was like, your son, he knows how to talk in front of the people.
mm,
Like I wish, no, I don't say I wish, but a part of me wishes that like that's what they pushed me towards, my
mm-hmm,
parents, because they like the school and the counselor and everybody recognized like your kid is good at this. He's not a
mm.
fucking athlete. He's good at this. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
for me, it's like being like that. To me, that's that knowledge. That's like if I have a kid, whatever, or a girl or a guy, or if my son is born and he's like a fucking just like Messi level like athlete, right? I'm not
yeah,
gonna be like, hey, my boy, let's go to fucking art class, dog.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we
Right,
could give him a little bit of that, but it's like I know what he's gonna like, what he was born to do. Is like, well, you were born to be an athlete, dog. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And that's that knowledge that be able to pass down, being able to recognize the generation that you create, their talents, and then also on the bad side, like all the trauma and all the negative shit that you dealt with, you're not gonna be able to pass it down to them.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Become a loving person,
Yeah,
and you understand what self love is, and I think that's the beauty of knowing the roots and shit. That'd be dope, dog. Like to understand where to be able to know, because like I said, I met your parents, fool. Like I met both of them, and that'd be dope to be able
yeah,
to trace back where your family comes from.
yeah. I mean, I'm mainly like a mutt. Like I know I think my features come out like Italian, but I might be like a
Some
small
other shit.
percentage
Yeah,
of
yeah.
yeah, small percentage Italian and like mainly like just mixed European, just from like settlers in the States. Like I know my family goes back to the States. Like I guess my mom's side I think has been here for I don't know. I got to do the thing. I got to do the
Hey, no, I'm saying
23
like,
minutes.
you know what I'm saying? Like one of those things
Yeah,
would be dope. It would be fucking dope as fuck, dog.
yeah,
Centuries worth of knowledge and shit, and then just take it and just be like, damn, that's crazy. Who
yeah. And then
knows,
like
fool?
go over to Italy and find my like ancestry there. Because I think
Like
I'm the most interested in my Italian background because my name Altier, it used to be Altieri. It had an I at the end, and my grandfather dropped that to make it sound a bit more American. And as a lawyer, I think it was just I don't know, maybe better for business even.
I mean, you look at the
Uh,
history of Italians in America, right?
yeah, they've had it rough actually. Yeah. Uh, so I don't that I think maybe like losing some of that Italian has maybe yeah. I've always been kind of drawn to that Italian background.
The
And
Italian stallion.
yeah, let us let us
uh,
Italian into the splash.
damn, that what a fucking time, dog. That'd
Yeah.
be dope though. Like as working as a youth worker myself, or as somebody that works with people, that's one of the biggest pieces of advice I tell people. Is like, learn where you're from.
Mm,
Doesn't matter how far you could trace it. If you're blessed to be able to trace it like I can, cool,
yeah.
do it. If you can't and you could only do it a little bit, fuck it. And if you don't have a relationship with your parents, start with you. Know who you are.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't the 23andMe, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
That's a whole different fucking that's an answer to a deep question.
It is.
Because it
But
opens up a new level of questions, fool.
yeah, but I think what's even deeper is looking back into your own life and your childhood, and maybe like journaling, like even just like thinking about like ages, go one age at a time. Like, what can you remember from this age? What can you, and then maybe like write it down. Like, oh wow, I remember that. Oh, I was afraid of that. Oh, but that made me so excited. I remember doing this. That was good. And it's like, wait a second. My favorite thing to do when I was a kid was bake pies on Thanksgiving when I was 7 years old. And there's a gap between doing that shit and then my career now. And it's like, fuck, like, what was I thinking getting trapped in the rat race of gotta go to college, gotta do this, you gotta study
America.
finance, you
America,
gotta get
dog.
you gotta get the internship. But it's like, why didn't I just, you know? But at the same time, I can't say that because I wouldn't have met so many amazing people and had so many different life experiences that have undoubtedly helped me in this career that I have now. So it's like I got here eventually. It's like somehow I got here.
I'm gonna fuck you up. And this is a conversation that I've been having with people like the past year. You ever so the way it set it up, right? It's easier to explain my own experience. So disappearing from the world and disconnecting, I was asking myself, who am I? Boom, I got to the answer. I'm a communicator. Fool, I have a 2-page like document
Mm,
of like communication experiences or moments in my life. Doing a fucking podcast, I learned how to rap. We did the OWU Radio, public speaking. Like it's just a recurring theme in my life, right? And I was like, that's how I know I was born to talk, right?
mm,
I don't just say that just to say that.
mm,
During this whole process, uh, I got into watching videos of Robert Greene, the author of 48 Laws of Power. And he
mm,
said something similar to my own discovery. I didn't like I saw his videos after I did the discovery myself, where he says that when we're kids, like there's a certain talent that appears to us
mm,
right between the ages of like 6 to 9. I forget what he said. And then that talent, that's what we were born to do. And he takes it a step further, and he talks about the eight, what is it called? The nine, the multiple intelligences theory. So there's like 8 or 9 intelligences, fool, and every person is born with these intelligences, fool, and fucking every human has one dominant one,
mm.
right? So there's like linguistic, there's kinesthetic, there's musical, and so like it's these categories, right? So like nature, fool. If your mom, she's a botanist, she has
Mm.
Dr. Green Thumb, fool. She'll probably be the greatest fucking cannabis grower, fool, in Virginia,
Yo,
fool. You know what I'm
I've
saying?
always said that to her too.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like she could be the greatest cannabis grower in Virginia because that's what she was born to do, fool. And then you saying that you love to bake pies at 7, but knowing that now, fool, like there's no doubt in my mind, fool, that you were born to cook or you were
for
born to be a
sure.
chef. And
Yeah,
I tell that to people is like he says Robert Greene says that it's a shortcut to find your passion in life.
yeah,
I'll send you the video because
yeah.
it just
Send me
came
that.
up on my feed again. Now that was just like the summarized version of everything. There's like a whole deeper knowledge, like curiosity thing, like you have to go deep in. But between the ages of 6 and 9, fool. You were 7, fool.
Yeah.
Right, bro. I was fucking a translator, fool, since I was a little kid. So I learned how to the language. Right. So I
Hmm.
was born to be linguistic, and in that linguistic category is the communicator,
Yeah.
the podcast host. I do live streams on YouTube. Like, there's always a fucking mic in front of my fucking face, dog. Whether it's
Yeah.
either recording a song or I'm talking.
Yeah. And then that leads into rap, you
Yeah,
know?
that just leads into rap, poetry. Just
Yeah.
like you see me command
Thank
the room, fool, telling a story.
you. And you proofread my essays in college and shit too. It's like,
Yes. So because I used to win fucking essay competitions, fool.
yeah.
Because it's something about words, fool.
You read my shit. You were like, yeah, it's okay. You'll pass.
And I laugh at myself now, fool, because it's like the things that I didn't want to do, I was good at, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. Essays, that was
Mm,
easy, dog.
yeah.
Typing an essay was so easy for me, dog. Like, it was so fucking easy. And I still remember for you, dog, like I remember you were always whipping up some crazy shit in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Quick with it too, fool. You were always in the kitchen, fool. You were always the one. Remember we used to get lost, fool? Like, we just get faded, and then we would be in the bitch in the basement, fucking cleaning everything.
Bro, I used to just hang out in the kitchen.
That's what I'm
It
saying,
was,
dog.
and it's like not even like that kitchen was not even like a nice place to hang out. It was loud. It was cold. It was like
So
smelled like
much
shit
echo,
sometimes.
dog. Like, it's so much
Yeah.
echo, dog. Like, it was a
We'd have to
disgusting.
like scream at each other, yeah, to talk and like, but there was something just about being in there, that industrial setting of possibility almost. You know, it's like, oh, we have Andy ordered this home. It's like, all right, what can we whip up with this? Like, what ultimate queso can I make? And I think that point in my life, that unlocked going further, because not many people have a leisure, like during their leisure time, are able to access a commercial kitchen like that with 6 burners, a flat top, and access to all these ingredients. We can make whatever we wanted. Like
3 fridges,
that,
fool.
that unlocks like just my mind in terms of like, oh, this is fun and this is possible and this is like, this is kind of what I want to do, you know?
And then you had
But
me. I
I
was the
didn't
kitchen
realize it.
steward. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
So we had
I
access to
was,
that kitchen all the time, fool.
yeah. I also look back, I'm like, why wasn't I kitchen steward? Uh, Although at that time I didn't want to pick up any extra responsibility. That's another topic though.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
But
But
like these little like themes that repeat in our lives, dog.
yeah.
Like, it was you cooking some shit up, and then me just telling a fucking random story, fool.
Hmm. Always music playing though. Speaker,
Yeah,
just
some shit, fool, some shit going on, dog,
Philadelphia Half Life album on repeat.
all the time. It's just like,
uh,
fool. I was just I thought about. I know this wasn't in the fucking in the notes, fool, but I don't really like reminiscing about OWU too much. But I'll finish with this one because I do want to ask you a question about OWU.
for sure.
But I just had a random thought about the magazine where I came out on the magazine
Mm,
and I was in the cover and they interviewed me and shit.
yeah.
And I was like, see, no, there it is. Like, I always, fool, I was just interviewed the other day for at the beach. Like, these opportunities just come and I laugh at them now. I was like, yeah, for that's how I know I was born to talk, dog.
Hmm.
Because it's just these opportunities just come, they just repeat over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I
Like,
think what you're talking about, the intelligence is like, yeah, I think you have that a bit like that linguistic ability, but like that's anchored also by your social ability. So like those two together, that's fucking,
yeah, that's
I
what, you know
think,
what I'm saying? That's what makes,
yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, if you study this, I'm because it's a book. Fool, it was a theory that was developed in the '80s by a psychologist. And I want to buy the book, but I'm gonna share you the article. I'll put it in the description of the video as well, so you could look at it because it's one step. Now I take it another step where it's like that's like the starting point. But since we are humans, fool, we are like talented in all of these, but we have one dominant one But if we have other ones that we're a little bit, like I don't have Dr. Green Thumb, fool.
Mm.
Yeah, I love the environment, but I don't have Dr. Green Thumb. But
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, a part of me does. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have these intelligences, fool, and so there's always one that's like dominant. But I do believe that there's other ones that are not as dominant, but they're not at like base level. I don't know if that makes any sense. So if you
No, that makes
combine
sense.
all
Yeah.
those, that's who we really are, fool. So you, like you
Mm.
said, the social. I can't read music, fool. I can't fucking read music for shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I love to rap,
Yeah.
and it's in my DNA. So I know there's a music somewhere in there, dog. And for you, I
Right.
know there's your mom, fool. She loves athletics, fool.
Yeah.
When I met you, you were fucking an athlete, fool. You were playing lacrosse.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
quick as
Movement
fuck.
has been a part of my life, and
You,
in
you
some
taught
way,
me how to work out, fool. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You Devon too.
Well, Devon, the legendary fool, couldn't shoot for shit. Fool, that's my boy,
Yeah.
fool. But that dude was a fucking beast in the weight room.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
so
Yeah.
like, so like, I'm gonna send you that shit. If you get lost a little bit, that way next time we
Might fuck
talk,
me
fool.
up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is crazy, dog. I try to tell it to people, and it's like I had a in one of my because I talked about it with my cousin in like the first platica that I did. And he's like, "What do you like doing?" He's like, "I like to assemble things," because he wants to be a gun manufacturer,
Mm-hmm.
but he's more interested in the putting the pieces together,
Mm.
and he loves to put like anime like figures together. And I was like, "Fool, you're an
Yeah.
assembler, dog. You love to assemble things."
Yeah.
Because he doesn't care about the gun shooting, he cares about assembling the guns. It's like, fool,
Yeah.
you were born to do that shit. There's not like there's a reason why that dream in your head exists.
Right. Yeah.
Like at what
I'm
point
sure
in
you
your
get.
life, fool, like and we probably fast forward. Before we get into the fucking cooking shit,
Yeah.
I just want to ask you, dog, who the fuck was Willie before OWU?
Before OWU.
It's like a quick summary for who you were. Like we want to set up we want to set up the timeline for to get to your culinary career. So who were you before OWU?
Yeah. I mean, let's see. Always always moving around athletically. Like lacrosse was my life. I started playing that when I was 12 years old. I switched. I played both baseball. My mom was like, you can't quit baseball. You have to finish this last season. Uh, but you can play lacrosse too if you want. So I was like, all right. I'll finish my baseball career, but I'll also play lacrosse in the same year. I tried that, and then I, finished baseball and like moved on to lacrosse, and that was like honestly my life. Like all I thought about was sports, and like my main focuses were sports, friends, and then later into life it was or later into like my teens was a little bit more like chasing girls, obviously, uh, you know, and like partying too, uh, and then always in the back of my mind like food meant so much to me. I wasn't cooking that much at that point. I would still cook a bit at home, but I was always infatuated by food. Uh, like trying different things. I was never afraid to try different things. I always liked doing that, and just going to eat in different types of cuisines too. But I guess let me think. Psychologically, I was always pretty timid, of uncertainties. Like I didn't like uncertainties in life. Uh, like if I didn't know how uh, something was going to unfold, I'd be a little very cautious of it. Uh, I mean, I think I've always been more of a listener than a talker. Uh, and it takes me a little bit to evaluate a situation. Also, I'd say I've never been too good at like off the cuff type things. Like improvisation is tough for me. At least when it has to be, you know, thought out. But and then I was also into the arts too. I think in school, the only subjects I ever cared about was like English classes and art classes. So Uh, but I didn't like to read that much. But if I found something I wanted to read, I would just read it. I'd read it over and over again too. Like I had a class in an English class when I was I guess when I was a senior. Yeah, I was 18. It was uh it was like a science fiction class, and we read Frankenstein. We read this awesome book called Robot Dreams by Isaac Asimov. If you don't know that book, you should check it out. And it's like short stories of just. It was written in I think the 50s, and it was like short stories about the future of technology. And some of that shit is, I mean, I think I haven't reread it in a while, but like kind of spot on. And it's like the fears of technology. So I don't know, like the arts always stuck with me. Music, I've been obsessed with music, and I've had different phases of music in my life. But it's funny, every phase of music in my life, I don't lose it. It just gains. It's like I'll still go back and like at first when I first got into music, I was into like AC/DC, like Led Zeppelin,
Classic rock.
more classic rock. And then actually I had a and then more I got into metal. So I was like extremely into System of a Down, like hardcore, that kind of stuff. When I was like starting to get a little bit more angsty as a teenager.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh but then I discovered hip hop, and that was like the biggest chunk of my my music listening has been hip hop. Like I old school hip hop, I just haven't lost that yet. I don't think I ever will lose it too. It's like, but now I'm more into a lot of like instrumental, long form jam music too. Um, like a band called Lotus, they're an amazing instrumental band that they'll play live shows and just like improvise for 17 minutes or something. I love that kind of music. It can just kind of take you away. So I find a lot of beauty in that. But then I love the lyrical aspect of hip hop, and I've always loved that. And I think I always will. And also just the beats and yeah, music has just been such a big influence on me. And if someone asked me like what my favorite type of music is, it's like I don't know. I for sure can't have one. It's whatever mood I'm in, I'll throw something on, and it'll continue that mood. But I can be easily influenced by music too. Like I can like sometimes if it's like something can like I'll get shivers down my spine listening to certain types of music. Like I read something one time. It's like certain people have like this this thing inside them where they can just like be extremely affected by music and art and certain types of things. But not everybody has that. But I guess I do somehow. And then
No, I get exactly what you're talking about, dog.
like I'll get like a tingle down my spine if something just like hits me in the right way, or a collection of notes just sounds right to me. So yeah, I mean, I guess that was a bit longer than a short summary, but I guess art, yeah, like music, food, like friends and family. I've always cared so much about socially. Like I've always wanted to be a part of a group too, uh, but not just to be in the group, but to actually have people who love and care about me, and then I spread that love to them too. That's been extremely important to me. Uh, yeah, ever since I was a kid. I've always wanted people to like me too. It's a blessing and a curse because I see myself as somewhat of a like a servant mentality sometimes, where like I'll put people's needs before mine a lot of the time, but like psychological needs too. Like I don't like upsetting people, uh, which is good, but it's also bad in some ways, where it's like sometimes I don't really put my psychological and physical needs first. Um, Although this does help out in a kitchen setting where all you're doing is help like feeding people and helping people, and but I wouldn't trade that quality for the world. I think helping people is and wanting to help people is extremely valuable. Yeah, I think that sums it up a bit, you know.
And then how the fuck you get to OWU, dog?
I got to OU just for sports. My college search had nothing to do with school, but only sports and
Mm.
lacrosse. I was my like the peak of my career in lacrosse was actually my junior year, summer going into senior year.
In high
Um,
school, right?
in high school, yeah, I was just like in the best shape of my life. Like I was just getting better and better at the sport, lifting a lot of weights, getting strong. And the coach of OWU saw me at this Coach Plant Holt. He saw me at this tournament I was playing at, this Brine National Tournament, uh, and we were balling out. The New Jersey, we won this like national tournament. This New Jersey team of scrubs, but it was honestly the best like tournament, like best lacrosse experience I ever had. Every game we played, we were down at halftime of that. We played like 10 games, and then every game we were down at halftime. We came back and won every game, and then we won the championship. And that was a highlight. And then that coach saw me, and I don't know if he called me or emailed me. He was like, hey, I think he emailed me. He was like, hey, I saw you play at this tournament. We'd love to have you for a visit. Get in touch with me. So I was like, all right. So I went and visited. I did like an overnight there, and I mean, I got fucked up with the lacrosse team. They took me out. They took me to Clancy's and that, and then I just like the community there. I like the coach too. He's a really good guy. He's still coaching there till this day, Coach Plant Holt. He's a really nice guy. But still, I was like, nothing academically ever entered my brain. I was like, this is cool. I can party here. I can make friends here. Lacrosse sounds great. It's a smaller place. I didn't want to go to a big school anyways. Uh, I've always liked a bit of a smaller community and everything. But, you know, in college especially, because I wanted to have a relationship. You know, even if I didn't care about school that much, I still wanted to have some sort of rapport with my professors if I could. Uh, and I wanted a bit more of a community oriented experience for college. So yeah, I committed there. I knew I was going there from that summer. So like my whole senior year, I was committed and I was guaranteed to go there. And maybe that wasn't the best for my like academic life, senior year of high school, uh, but yeah, that's how I got to OWU sports, lacrosse, and then
And then you show up
as
to the
as you know,
then you show up to the basement of PDT, dog, and
yeah,
we're doing some rowdy shit, dog, and I play Christ Conscious
yeah,
by Joey Badass.
that album had just come out,
Just
on
came
repeat
out.
for me. Yeah,
I didn't give a fuck if it wasn't a party song. At
yeah,
that point, like I had already like I was already, somebody, dog, like, whatever that means, food. And then they were not gonna tell me to change the song because there was no, there was no women around, dog. So it was like we were like just a bunch of fools and
yeah,
shit. I think that was like the rule. Like if there's no women around, like I couldn't DJ. Like I could DJ. Once the women came
yeah,
around, I couldn't DJ, dog, because I didn't have any of the party songs and shit.
yeah.
Throwing Joey Badass, Christ Conscious, boom, dog. I'm literally chilling and I see this fool turn around real quick, like
Yeah,
quick.
because I look,
He's like looking around. He's like, you fuck with Joey Badass?
yeah,
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, dog. And I look at this one. I was like, I didn't expect him. I didn't expect anybody to know who Joey Badass was like and have a reaction
I
like
mean,
that.
yeah,
And he was like, we chopped it up, you know. Then we went to my room and
hmm
then packed that fucking remember that water pipe that I had and shit.
that's nasty.
That shit was disgusting, dog. College level. It wasn't even mine. It was fucking Billy's, dog. It
Yeah,
was stashed in my room, and I was like, "Fuck it, fool." But we were so drunk, we didn't give a fuck,
no,
right? And then fast forward, a couple months later, you're doing the whole fucking, the process.
hmm
And at this time, somebody in the journalism department starts a OWU radio.
Hmm.
And obviously, like I said, I'm already O3 on campus, and it's a small fucking school, fool, right?
Yeah.
And he comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, he didn't know me. He didn't want to call me O3, but he was like, hey Omar, you want to host your own state, like you want your own segment at the OWU Radio?" And I was like, "Fool, I'm fucking down, dog. Like, let me fucking let me know where I gotta sign up." Boom, boom, boom. One thing led to the other. I was like, "Do I need the licenses for the music?" He's
Mm.
like, "Nah, as long as you have a limited amount of viewers, though, and whatever." I was like, "Fuck it, dog." Boom. This will Billy teaches me how to DJ on the virtual DJ application.
Hmm.
And then somehow, some way, dog, I was like, "You became my shadow, fool."
Yeah.
I don't want to say you became. It was kind of like mandatory, but it was like not
I
mandatory.
stuck to you. I was like, I don't know.
It
You had
wasn't
so
like
like,
mandatory. It was just meant to be, fool. Let's just put it like that.
yeah.
And I was like, "Fool, let's go to the fucking old radio. Let's go from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Hmm.
Peak hours of like the pregame, peak hours of like the
Yeah.
rise of a Friday night." And here
Yeah.
we are, fool. Friday night at the fucking Phillips, right? I think that's what it's called, Phillips.
Phillips Hall. Yep.
Phillip Hall, and then we're just in there, fool, just two fools, dog, just alone, bro, alone, doing bumping old school hip hop bonding, dog. For
Yeah.
me, for me, dog, it was like a dream come true. It was always something that like in my head is like it wasn't like a real dream that I had, but it was like a dream that it was kind of weird to explain. I didn't really see myself as like a radio host, but I just wanted to be a DJ kind of play old school
Mm.
hip hop.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like dope as fuck, bro. How was it for you, fool? Like to be there to to witness? Because I didn't have to take anybody, dog.
No.
But it was dope to have you there, fool. Like, how did that make you feel at the time? Like looking back
I
at it
mean,
now.
well, I mean, at that point, I think, I just wanted to like, it sounds, but I wanted to spend time with you. Like, 'cause and I think it went both ways. I think we just both wanted to just discuss because we had so much shit in common, but we're the most different. We come from the most different fucking places. It's like, how did we end up together at this random place in Ohio and like have the most similar interests and stuff? And like, I think the biggest interest we had was our sense of humor. It's
The stupid
like we
shit, dog.
would, the stupid, silly ass shit we would laugh at was just an undeniable connection. And and when you said like we're gonna go do this, we're gonna go put on a radio show and play old school hip hop. I'm like, yes. I'm like, that's what next question. Yeah. Uh, but it was the the crazy thing about it was like the whole Friday night aspect of it. It wasn't on a Wednesday where everyone wasn't doing shit. You know, everyone was doing shit at that time together, and we valued this so much more than starting to party on a Friday night. And that's like when everyone was pre-gaming and partying to go out. We were like, well, we're gonna go do our thing because we think this is important and we value this. And there was something about walking from residential side of campus at that hour to academic side where during the day there's all these people out and everything. I got this feeling all the time at OWU walking from residential to academic side, just like especially at night where it was just like it would feel like dreamlike in a way,
I know
like
exactly what you're talking about, dog.
like go like
Movie,
almost like a fever dream kind of type thing, like movie
cinematic,
set.
fool.
Yeah, yeah, because the beautiful buildings. I mean, that campus was beautiful, and that when you walk from one side to the next, it was beautiful. Um, and like the oldness of it too, like it had like a nostalgia, like so much things at OWU for me had like this nostalgic historical factor to it, which I love. Uh, and like there's something about being in an academic building when it's not time for academics, like at nighttime when you're in. Remember being in Phillips
Yeah,
all alone and just like I don't know, just like looking around and stuff and like inspecting little things like, wow, okay, this is there like that.
Feeling like a
Peeking
rebel.
your peeking your head in an empty classroom and be like, Peters or something like that, just being an absolute clown, like opening a random
Oh shit.
locker, just
Yeah, I
like
remember that shit.
that mystical aspect of being in a place almost like we shouldn't have been there. It's like, but then we'd sit down and get into radio in that little booth in that room, which was like, it felt professional too. Like, at least for like being in college, I'd never been in a radio setting or anything like that, a booth, a DJ booth or anything.
It feels
And
so
it did feel,
authentic, like legit.
it did. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We were doing stuff, the foam padding on the walls, stacks of like CDs and like all this shit. Keith Frank, uh, Keith Frank CD. Yeah. Check out Keith Frank on
Shout out to
Spotify.
Keith Frank. All right.
Yeah, yeah. But no, we'd sit there.
Oh shit.
All right.
Oh, that's a story.
Yeah. No, but
There's a lot of inside jokes. It's kind of hard to explain. You got to be there.
yeah. But then we got down to business. We got we played some music. I mean, I didn't have much, say in the selection of songs, but I mean, you were procuring fantastic playlists, and I think my neck hurt after like OWU Radio because I was just like the whole
It was
time
just
and
dope, dog. It was not a single missed song, bro. I remember this shit.
no, yeah. And then, there was something about being there while everyone else was partying and being reckless that we were there almost on business. It's like, but also on like friendship level shit too, like bonding, business, music. It was
It was a time.
it felt so real. Yeah.
It's it's a big part. In the grand scheme of things, it was pretty small because it didn't last that long. But for me, looking back at it, it was one of the when I was discovering like who I was, it was one of the big confirmation, like I am a communicator, like moments of like the fucking radio, dog. It came out like it came to me and everything, like all the emotions and all the feelings came back. And there's a big like understanding of it that I got where it was like, yes, we were in a frat. Yes, we were considered frat boys, and yes, we were doing the party shit. But it
Mm-hmm.
was like a small glimpse into who I was beyond the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was dope to have you there because for me, like my biggest goal in life was just to be seen and heard.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And for to have somebody at that moment in my life to fuck with hip hop, to have the same humor, to be down to do this shit, bro. That shit meant so much to me, dog. Like it meant so much to me because one thing is taking your homie, dog, who doesn't listen to underground hip hop and have being there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different vibe than when both of you fools, like when it was both of us and we were listening, it was nothing but fucking.
Mm-hmm.
It was like if you weren't there, it's hard to explain. It was just like a moment in time that it didn't feel real, dog. It didn't feel like we were these frat boys. It didn't feel like we were these like two fools from polar opposites ends of the spectrum in terms of like where we were from, opposite sides of like any sociological fucking whatever the fuck, right? None
Mm-hmm.
of that mattered, dog. At that moment, we were both two dudes around the same age, just like trying to figure out what the fuck we wanted to do in life. I swear to
Mm-hmm.
God, dog, I wasn't the best student in college. That right there at the OWU Radio was probably the most locked in besides like recording the music videos and when I was doing my music shit once in a while. That was the most
Mm-hmm.
locked in I was, fool,
Yeah,
in Ohio.
I believe it.
I was downloading shit during class, fool, outside of class, fool. Like I was so locked in.
Yeah.
And to walk into that room the first time, I was like, yo, like I think if we were in a room that didn't look legit, the experience might have been a little different.
I
Because there was
agree.
something
Yeah,
about the authenticity that it felt like a radio station, dog. Like it
it
added to
did.
the element. To have the
There was
big
like
monitor,
the on air above the door
yeah,
outside, like
yeah. And then to
that
have
shit.
the fucking the monitor have the shit was recording. I wish I had access to those fucking recordings, bro. Like, because they were
Oh
recorded,
man,
fool.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like to see the sound waves being recorded, I was like, this is a fucking radio, dog. It felt legit.
Hmm.
It was funny because nobody at OWU maybe like tuned in once in a while. All my fucking listeners were from over here,
No,
dog. My people's fool.
yeah. Mm, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm
Nobody
saying?
was listening. That's the thing. It's like,
And then I didn't care, dog. Like I didn't give a fuck. It was like
yeah,
only the real one of the few times that I could be myself and I felt home at home.
yeah.
And it was no disrespect to anybody at the fraternity house or nothing, but like when we did the fucking when we were to sit together for to do the fucking what was that shit called humps
Oh yeah, the music,
when we were,
human
the historical
music appreciation.
music
Yeah,
appreciation when we did that little group that felt dope. It was funny, but it was dope because it was like we were just chilling, listening to
yeah.
music.
I think it wasn't it like we'd sit in a circle
Yeah,
with the speaker, and then everybody would play a song
yeah.
one after the
Everybody
next.
would play a
Yeah,
song, and it felt like it was dope, dog. And that's why I wanted to talk to you about the old radio because at least for me, dog, like to me that was like top three moments, fool. Even though it was
yeah,
like a series of Fridays and shit, it was the top three moments in my life when I was in Ohio, dog. Like
yeah, man.
I don't think I don't think doing that shit alone would have made it as important in my life.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
And then the
And
walk
man,
back, fool. The walk back was just as fun.
it was, yeah.
The walk
We'd be
two,
hyped on like completing that task, and
the
like we,
dopamine hit.
yeah, we just did that.
Yeah.
We put on a good show, a good radio show. Because like I feel like that would have like if that was on a regular radio station, like that would have been like good. Like we're playing bangers, and you'd explain the music and explain why you chose the song and why we were here, and I'd give maybe a little, I don't know, something, but like I would speak not very often, but hey, I was there, and yeah, man, it was real. It was a real thing. Like there's no denying that. Like it wasn't, uh, something that actually provided value to our lives and could have for others. That maybe there was someone listening, like maybe some random ass person listened like every week and was like, "This is the shit." Like, you know, who knows?
It to me is it's a very important memory, dog, because like at that point, like you ever just like wonder why you meet certain people?
Mm,
And
yeah.
looking back at it now, it's like there's a reason why we met.
Hmm.
I don't think I would have became who I became if it wasn't for like you. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Because everybody says
Yeah,
like, hey, O3 and Willie, dog. It was like a fucking the dynamic duo, fool.
yeah. It's because we didn't like judge each other at any point. It's like, oh, you're doing that, like that's weird. Like it was always like an understanding of like through our good and bad too. Like we both had moments in school when we were there together where things were
We were
going
both bad,
well.
horrible students, dog, just living it up.
Oh yeah,
That's what it was, dog.
for sure. Yeah,
And it was at when we were at Smith, fool, or my junior year.
yeah,
That was a year, dog.
yeah, yeah.
But it was you and me, and then like
And
Boobs. I love my boy
Billy.
Boobs, dog. I love my boy
Yeah,
Boobs. It was either Boobs or when Bo decided to chill with us, or Billy
and
would come in just
Billy.
random.
Yeah,
Just the most randomest human ever, dog.
yeah.
And then those three fuckers, dog, down the hallway, fool. But it was like it was always a movie, dog.
It was. Yeah, that year was iconic in that dorm in
I was
Smith.
like peak rowdy regime, dog.
It
Remember when I
was.
pulled up with the shirts?
Yeah, yeah. That was
That's
like
that
the first
picture,
day of
dog.
school. Yeah.
That picture was
Yeah.
dope. Yo, that's the day we met Loaf. Remember?
Loaf. That was Loaf. An undercover cop.
One day, look, I told P Dog I would never do this, but I feel like one day I just have to have like a fucking war story, dog, like episode where I just go down the list of just
Yeah.
college memories and just invite random fucking fools and just be
Yeah,
like,
man.
hey, remember when fucking Edward 40 hands died? Remember when we were throwing shit off the balcony? Send it. Like, and then just
Yeah.
like it's just like
Yeah, because
random
like I
random
mean
shit.
I'm down to do that one with you. Like, well, we can have a series. Shit. I don't care. Because like I don't talk about that at all, ever. Like that stuff with anyone. Like when's the last time you really talked about that stuff? Like I part of me like has all those memories inside that I love and everything from college, but also I suppress those memories in a way too, just because of how fucking reckless I was. Like I was
Uh,
I mean I think we were still like good people and upstanding and we cared about each other a lot, but at the same time in many ways I was a fucking piece of shit. Like so irresponsible, man. Like I can't believe at some point like I'm like, wow, like I can't believe I even got that far in college. Like I never graduated, but I can't believe I even got that far. How did I not drop out earlier? Sometimes I think,
I
it's
don't know
like,
why did we get kicked out, fool.
how did I not get kicked out? How
I
did
thought we didn't get arrested, dog. Like, how the fuck we didn't get
arrested?
arrested, fool?
I mean, I think
Remember?
at the end of the day, we still had some brains. And I think, being at OWU tamed us a bit more. If we were at Ohio State or something, we would have been arrested. We would have been dead.
I still the fact that they knew when I would call in, fool, at the fucking the police station to get picked up by public safety, because you know how they used to share radios and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Mike. I twisted my ankle. Can I get a ride home? And they would pull up. I was like, all right, get in, no more. That shit would be funny as fuck, dog. Like little shit like that, dog, or like the Keith Franklin shit.
Oh yeah.
Keith Franklin, like it's an inside joke, but it was just like they had like these random they were giving away CDs, and it was like a fucking little, not even that big of a fucking shelf, and we just picked like three random ones.
Yeah.
And I remember this fool loaded up the CD, and it was just like a fucking accordion, dog, and we lost our shit all the way home. Cause he
It's so
blared
funny
that shit.
because like
Remember you bumped that shit loud as fuck, and it was just the accordion. We're like, what the fuck is this? I'll never
yeah,
forget that shit. Like shit like that. To me, it's like
yeah,
moments like that. That's what made college, fool. That's
yeah,
what
for
made
sure.
college, and that's what made the OWU radio a lot more special.
Hmm.
Cause
Yeah,
like
just
you
those
said, if
little tiny moments. Yeah,
we didn't, we shouldn't have been in that, but we should have been in there. Like you know what I'm saying? At the same time, at the same fucking time.
yeah, cool.
We'll do another episode where we reminisce a lot more into our fucking PDT days, because I want to ask you, what was the biggest lesson you learned from OU?
Biggest lesson I learned from woo, I'd say like even I dropped out, so like I didn't get a fucking degree after 4.5 years, but at the same time I don't regret shit. Like I think maybe if you go through a big phase in life that you look back and you're initially extremely disappointed about, or like the heaviest disappointment you have about a certain section of your life may just be the most important and may just be the thing that propels you later in life. Like I met so many amazing people. There was periods where I was learning a lot. Like I did learn a lot. I you know I got that far, so I must have been doing something correct at some point. Um, Learning how to handle certain types of situations socially, academically, professionally. Uh, it was a valuable experience, degree or not. And then what happened after that is like not getting the degree, it lit like I went through a period of after that of, you know, pure shit. Like I felt like shit about myself and I was a bit misguided and although in that last year I was back, I did know I was going to be a cook because I had already got a job the summer before that. Uh, I started washing dishes at a restaurant that I liked, so and then I became a prep cook there. But I did that before I went back for another semester. But during that semester, I was like, "What am I doing? I can't focus. I can't do anything. I'm not treating myself well. It was even going worse than the semester previous. So I left again. Uh,
And then during this time, the house is going through some bullshit.
yeah, the house was falling apart. Our fraternity got kicked off campus. Uh, and that was just like it was
Another
like
burden,
losing
huh?
it was like losing a fucking life. It felt like it literally felt like something died inside of me because that was my spirit. That was my spirit there. Like the thing that kept me there, I think, was our fraternity and our friendships, and that house and the responsibility of keeping that house up. Um,
And at this point, you were the wisest one, right? Like you were the wisest.
yeah, I taught the pledges that year.
Well, just not even that. You were probably the highest rank at that
I
point.
was the eldest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The grandfather, I guess you'd call it. Yeah.
The wisest one, the wise one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it felt like I don't know. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. Um, but at the same time, it closed. I think that was helped close a chapter of my life, like because it made me reflect too. It was like, yeah, maybe we were too reckless. Maybe we didn't treat that place good enough. Maybe I could have done more to, you know, make it so that we stayed. Obviously, I didn't, and I could have, but I can't control 50 people, nobody can. Uh, plus we got raised in that house, like everyone got raised there to be kind of crazy and rowdy. It's like your class was taught by the class before you to be, who you guys were, and then you guys taught us. But there was also always a level of respect and care for the house and each other that was pretty unmatched, honestly. But anyway, but taking away from OWU, just don't let your past uh, mistakes or downfalls be your downfall, because it did light a fire on. Because I left and I was like, all right, well, I knew I was going to be a cook, but I was like, then that's all I have. I don't have a degree. I don't have any hard skills besides cooking and athletics, but I'm not going to pursue like there's nothing there for me. Uh, so I got into cooking and into the gym again, and I haven't turned back just because I have nothing else. That's all I got to my name now in terms of career. I'll always have friends and long lasting people and family to help me out, but what's really going to keep myself going is what I do to keep like my responsibilities up, and that's now cooking, my cooking career, and yeah, and
So you,
still athletics, I think too, like movement, always
so you leave
so important.
OWU, right? You leave
Yeah.
OWU. Where do you end up at?
This restaurant called Slamwich in Madison, New Jersey. Yeah,
Fire, fire as fuck, dog.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was my
Fire.
favorite restaurant, like in the whole town. Just a scratch kitchen. Everything was made from scratch in there. Like we made breads, we made all the meat in house. We butchered all of our meat. Every salad was homemade. Like we bought all fresh produce in to make our food. And I couldn't have thought there was no better place to start learning how to cook than that place. I had two amazing chefs that taught me so much information and so much about cooking and the lifestyle. And man, I was blessed to go there as my first stop. Also to go there, I started as a fucking dishwasher too. It's like that part of my career is so important for me because I started from ground zero, just all right, washing dishes and just like looking, see what's going on, and then like knowing where like what tool, like when you're washing dishes too, you get to learn like what tools are used for what and like where to put things back and like the organization aspect of a kitchen. And that was so valuable to me. So I did that for 3 months, and then they hired a dishwasher, like because I was like telling them, I was like, I want this, like I want this so bad. So they were like, all right, let's get you prepping. So then they hired a dishwasher and moved me to prep. And, there I started learning like basic knife skills, basic like tasting and always tasting everything. So important. And then eventually from there, I did that for another few months. And then they put me on the line to cook during service. And that shit was like, immediately I was like, this feels like sports again. This is because you get adrenaline during the rush, the big game. You either do really well or sometimes you don't do as well. You have a post game, like you have a post game conference with the team. Like everyone, we talk about it,
Yeah.
do what we did wrong, what we could do better, and then you prep for the next game. It's like this is sports. This is what I love to do. This is the adrenaline, the fire, the communication, the yelling. That it it
It's
brought
a
life
game.
back into me. Yeah, it brought life into me. Yeah.
So one
So
one one chapter closes,
yeah,
right? And a better one open.
wild, wild.
I don't want to say
Yeah,
better, but a good
yeah.
one open. A good one open.
No, yeah.
Great
Because
one.
I'm not saying because this lifestyle is hard, man. What I'm doing now, it's fucking long hours, physically and mentally draining at times, and but there's nothing else that's more rewarding than making good food for people and serving the people. Yeah,
So you have sandwich, right?
yeah.
Fire ass food.
Hmm.
First year after OWU, at what point where you're like, this is my career?
When I think after my first really good, like busy service, like I think once I started getting things down that were a little bit higher than like basic level, like I started getting an understanding of things that only comes with experience in cooking. Uh, being able to have like many different things going at the same time and just flying around to each thing and then putting it up on the counter, moving on to the next thing while having like that that multitasking in the shit kind of adrenaline is what, and then after it, all the sweating, like you're leaning over the station, just like looking at each other. I was like, fuck, we did that. We just killed that. Like that's crazy. Those moments are what I cherish so much in cooking. Like like going back to for me, it's all about a small social unit, a team. Like like that's always been so important to me. That's like, and in a kitchen, if you're not working together as a team, you're done. You're done. Uh, and like I became really close with my colleagues there too, and like formed some amazing bonds with them. And it's all part of it. It's like, all right, let's go back and do it again tomorrow. And then I don't have any homework too. Let's go. Like
Yeah.
I get to go
Uh,
home and just chill, and then come back the next day fresh and just do it again. And there wasn't anything prior to my life where I was like, I can't wait to do this again tomorrow. even with sports, I was like, I don't feel like going tomorrow. I don't feel like doing this, you know. But this is all me. Like no one forced me to do this, and it's all comes from what I want to do. So I want to keep doing this because it's very rewarding, and I know I can get better. I was getting decent and learning a lot, and it felt good. So I was like, wow, let's just keep doing this. And then I think from there it's still growing, but I think I'm elevating every year. I'm elevating.
I called you a couple years ago, and you're like, "I'm moving to Europe for culinary school, right?" Or
Yeah,
what was it? An internship?
that was a culinary academy in France. Uh, it was 3 months of classes, both French classes and cuisine classes, 3 hours each, so 6 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 months, and then 4 months they then place you at a restaurant in France for a 4 month internship.
So then you do the academy, you do the 4 month internship. What was the name of the
Mm-hmm.
restaurant?
La Table de Casino. It was like it was a Michelin star restaurant. Uh,
Oh shit!
extremely intense, extremely fun and rewarding though. I mean, it was 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. Uh, it was the most intense thing I think I've ever done in my life. Um, Also because I had to learn French in 3 months and then speak French only in a kitchen. Uh, that was one of the hardest parts. Uh, but my brain did it. I wasn't perfect, obviously, and but my brain was like, you have to do this or you're dead. Like, because the stakes are so high in those settings, restaurants where you have 50 guests every day, 25 for lunch, 25 for dinner. Each person's getting 7 courses. That's when I wake up at my normal hour. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So it was extremely intense. They threw me, since I had some experience already. That's part of why I got matched up at that restaurant, just because they knew I could take some heat, uh, and I was down for it too. So they threw me in there as like I didn't feel like a student. I felt like just a regular employee there. Although I was behind the other chef, with skill and obviously French. I didn't speak the language that well, but I got by, and it was uh, it was rewarding as hell to have that and like to complete that and finish it, and then get my degree. Because like the 3 month, like the school is also it's a Michelin star training too. So after that, I now have this degree. I didn't get my degree in college, but now I have this completed degree, a piece of paper diploma with my name on it, signed by a chef, that says I have this education. I've done this. I've completed it. I also fucking paid for all that shit on myself. Like I worked at Slamwich and lived at home for like 3 years and worked my ass off there, and then saved up money. I mean, I was just chilling at home, not doing much, and financed that whole thing. So I felt like self, so much self gratitude, and I felt like I could handle life at that point. Plus, I met Christine at school too, so I mean, that changed my life in a big way.
Before we get into the, because I want to end it with Christine, right? But you didn't finish your degree at OWU, right? And they say you left, and it was kind of hard for you mentally. Going into the academy, dog, what were you telling yourself? Like, because it kind of is a school again. What was the preparation going into school again after you had just left school, dog, without a fucking degree, fool? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I went in. This is strictly business and a do or die. Because uh, it sounds so intense, but it's like once you work in kitchens for a little bit, things become a little bit more intense, because when you're serving food to people and all that, the stakes are high. You don't want to hurt anyone. You don't want to waste money. You don't want to, I don't know, you don't want to fuck up because someone's going to let you know. And then myself, I was really hard on myself at that point because of not finishing that of college, just to like be, be something, you know? And I think to complete that, I really needed to be something in order to complete that. So it was just, I mean, before I went, I was like, no fun and games. This is just strictly business. Uh, but I mean, I ended up getting there and amazingly balanced the two. I still worked hard in my classes. I was disciplined physically and mentally, try to meditate a lot and work out every day and then go to class and then come home and then I would socialize, have dinner with a friend or, meet up with the friends we were making there. We became so close to everyone that was living there because COVID was still going on. And the place we were staying in was like completely dead besides the students that were there. So we were forced to just spend all of our time together. Uh, and it was amazing. Like I met so many awesome people there. And we all had that shared common goal of cuisine. Like we love this shit. So we bonded on that. And it's an international school too. So we're all from different backgrounds and we all helped each other get through that. So, yeah, I mean, going there, I was, and then, the 3 months it was crazy. I was learning so much. Uh, and I just really wanted it. I wanted it as my career and I knew it was going to be hard and it was. And yeah, it was kind of just, I have to finish this. I got to get through it. Yeah,
Then
it
I
was
don't know
amazing.
what the fuck happens, dog. Right? I go on Facebook or I forget what the fuck I go, dog. And there's a picture of you with this girl, dog.
Mm,
I think we start chopping it up. It's like, yeah, this is my girlfriend.
hmm
So let's end the platica, dog, with how'd you meet Christine, dog? Like Christine, right? Her name is Christine.
Christine, yeah.
Christine, how'd you meet Christine? How did that go about, dog?
Yeah, I met Christine. She was a student at the same intake as I was in the culinary school. Uh, I first saw her like we had to do like a quarantine period when we first got there, and like we went to this little market that was in the residence we were staying in, and I saw her there. I was like, oh, that must be another student. Like I might go say hi. And I was like planning on saying hi. I was nervous, like all these new people, and we were in line to order or to pay, and she proceeded to speak fluent French to the cashier. And I was like, okay, I'm not even, this is just this is a French woman. She's not a student here. What am I saying?
Yeah.
And then, I was like, all right, then okay. But then I met her again at the, like the, not initiation, but like, kind of introductory day at the school. And then she spoke fluent English. Like I was like, oh, I remember her. But then she introduced herself to me, and then she spoke American fluent English. I was like, what the hell is this? And at that point, I was like just interested in her already. I was like, this is like that's weird. That's cool. Like what's going on with her? She speaks fluent French, and then she sounds like this American person. And then yeah, we found out that we were actually neighbors, next door neighbors the whole time in the residence we were staying in. So uh, I mean, at first we became friends, and then we both started kind of like flirting with each other and that. Uh, but at the same time, I like I said, I was strictly business, so like I wasn't even like looking for anything. And there was times where like I told her that too. I was like, hey, I'm not looking for much. I like what? Plus, it's like in my mind, it's like I get attached pretty easily too. Like, what am I gonna? Exactly what I thought I didn't want to happen did happen. I was like, what am I gonna get attached to a girl and then stay with her for in Europe? Like, what is this? I can't do that. I'm gonna go back to the States after the 7 months. What am I thinking? and
Oh
then
shit.
it ended up happening. So, but like later into she pushed it hard because she really wanted it, and she convinced me and helped me kind of get over like why not kind of emotions and why like just keep taking leaps. Why not? Like just do it. Do what you want to do type thing. Don't be afraid of the what ifs and all that. Just accept the current circumstance as it is and go with it. Why not? And yeah, so she's Lebanese. She's from Lebanon. Her dad is full Lebanese. Her mom is full Danish. Uh, Her parents met here in Denmark when her dad was a boat captain. He had a stop here in Denmark. They met at a party, and then he left, and they had the corresponding letters to each other. It's a beautiful story. And then they ended up getting married here, I believe in Denmark. I think, yeah. And then eventually moving back to Lebanon, where they currently reside. So she's Lebanese Danish. She went to French school growing up, so that's where she gets her French from. She speaks fluent Arabic, Danish, and English. Her English sounds American
God
because
damn.
they grew up speaking English in the house. That was the main language because that's the language her parents had to speak to each other. Because at first, Christine's mom didn't speak Arabic, and then he didn't speak Danish. He still doesn't speak Danish, but she speaks Arabic now. So the house, when I'm there in their house, it's like switching between like mainly English and Arabic, but like little French words popped in because Lebanese culture is influenced a lot by French because they were a colony there. Um, and I've been to Lebanon a few times now. Crazy country, but there's so much beauty in it also.
Bro, you're living
Wonderful
a
place.
movie, dog. What the fuck?
Yeah,
A
and
romance
now yeah,
drama, dog. A
the
romance.
plan though was the initial plan was to go live in the States though, me and her. Because like we went to Lebanon for a month after France for me to go meet her family and be like, look, I'm taking your daughter to the US. And then we went to the US for 3 months. We found jobs and everything, but we didn't I don't know, I was so uninformed about the immigration system that like I didn't actually understand how fucking hard it is. It's impossible. It's it's the most broken, insane system we have. It's so fucked up. Like it would have taken her probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years to get there, to like to get a green card and then come to the States. But that only if a place would sponsor her. But what bakery is going to sponsor someone and wait for someone for 2 years? That doesn't exist. They do that shit for like professional athletes, the high of the high. Like in the U.S., if you want to move there and you're not married to someone, you're fucked. You can't do it. And we found that out quick, and that was hard. It was like, all right, what are we gonna do? We were like, all right, then, let's go to Denmark. We'll get married real quick, get the marriage visa, and then we'll get back. Um, and like we decided to do that, but we never ended up doing it. We never ended up getting married because the license would have taken longer than I was even allowed to be there in Denmark. Um, so I was like, I'll find a job here for now. So I did that, and I had to go back to the States for a little while I found a restaurant here I'm working at called Bruce, Brus. It's Danish for carbonation. It's a brewery and a restaurant, big house. Um, I applied for just a regular chef position there, got the job, and they were able to sponsor me and wait 4 months for me to come back. So I mean, I'm still there 2 years later, almost 2 years later, and love that place. But anyways, uh, yeah. So then we've been living here since then. At this point, uh, and we never got married in the first place. But then we were like, why don't we just do it now? At some point, why not? We feel it. We feel it's right, and then we did it. And yeah, here we are, living our life. It's
It's
been
a
a crazy.
romantic drama, dog. Is a fucking
Yeah,
movie, my boy. Is a fucking movie.
But let me tell you though, it's not perfect. Uh, like I said, I think at the very beginning, like I miss my family and friends dearly, and also miss many aspects of American culture. Uh, just like there's a fire in America that like is unmatched anywhere else, you know. But it's a good thing and a bad thing. But mainly, you know, the hardest part about being here is being away from family and friends. Although Denmark is amazingly like they're very good at social. I don't know how to explain it. Like they give people a lot of social benefits, and I get 6 weeks of vacation every year, so uh, I get to go home three weeks out of the year and go see family. So, and that
Okay,
was
that's
coming up.
enough. That's enough
Yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
though.
yeah. It is.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
but it's a nice place to live. It's just a beautiful country. It has its flaws, but it's great. Yeah.
Congrats on marriage, dog. It's I'm 29, dog. Like these are remember before we started the Platica, we were talking about adultism and being an adult and hitting certain check marks,
Mm,
right? I don't kind of like I don't go by those check marks anymore, but a lot of those concepts and a lot of those like events and those check marks have been slowly popping up into my mind
hmm.
a lot recently, fool.
Yeah.
And I got to see my boy Chimpies get married in September.
Hmm.
A lot of the fools that a lot of our mutual friends and my brothers that we knew we were with together at the same time. A lot of them are getting married, fool.
Yeah.
So when you told me you were getting married, I was like, oh shit, it's getting real, dog.
No.
It's getting real. Everybody's getting married, dog, and I'm still over here fucking. Like I don't. At that point, I was like, what the fuck am I doing, right? But
But like,
a year later, dog. Oh, it's like actually a couple months. And you told me a couple months. Like I'm just like, it'll happen when it happened. And everybody's life is a movie, fool.
that's the
You know?
thing. It's like I didn't plan that shit.
That's what I
I
was gonna
wasn't
say, dog. Like you what
came
you
out
were
of
saying,
fucking nowhere. Yeah.
it came out of nowhere, dog. And
Plus
it's hard.
Christine, she's 5 years older than me. So she's older. And she didn't see it coming either. And like she didn't think she was gonna marry some 25-year-old American guy. You know, it's like you're gonna meet some random ass girl. Some shit like it's just gonna happen. Like don't even plan it. Don't even stress it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a lot of these things where I think where I fucked up, and this is just me being vulnerable with everybody and with you, dog. It's just like when you grow up, you have all these fantasies, right, about life. Oh, and then a lot of those fantasies are related to those check marks of what it means to be an adult,
Mm,
right? And I come from a place where everybody started their families real young.
hmm.
People in my age group out here in LA, it's a different fucking culture, dog. Like, there's a lot of fucking around shit. You know what I'm saying? It's rowdy as
Hmm.
fuck. A lot of my peoples don't have families yet. But then I have all you fools over here from Ohio starting their family.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for me to not be a perfectionist when it comes to these quote unquote check marks that it means to be an adult in America.
Hmm.
Right. And so it's like I said, a lot of these concepts I don't talk about. I'm not really open about them. Just for me, though, I feel like a lot of my interactions with people, a lot of my topics of me being O3 have always been like real like I just rowdy dog. It's
Yeah.
always been about partying. It's always been about the next moment.
Yeah.
I've
Mm-hmm.
never sat down and be like, oh, I want to have kids. I fucking boom, boom, boom. I want to get married. I want to fucking own a house. Da da da. Like I never sat down and think. I started like now. It's like these things are popping up slowly, dog.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so, but I wanted to congratulate you, my boy, on your fucking journey and knowing you for a long time. And yeah, we don't talk as much as we used to. You
No.
feel me? But it
Uh,
doesn't seem like it's forever every time we catch up. It always feels like
yeah.
it
Like
always
I said,
feels
we
like
can.
those. It always feels like waking up 8 in the morning and seeing each other getting Gatorade full hung over as fuck
Mm-hmm.
in the basement. It just
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
conversation we have, it just feels like that.
Just all we need is a styrofoam cup. That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
No, it always feels like when we catch up, it's just I don't know, no time has really passed, and that's it makes me feel good, like selfishly, in a way, it's like all right, I'm still fucking like normal because like sometimes I get like I don't if I go, one of my struggles is keeping communication because I've been away now for a while and it's hard to keep up with everyone I've encountered that I've created bonds with. I have a tough time with it, to be honest. Um, you know, but like once I do, it's like all right, I'm still the same guy. Like, I'm still that same silly ass little fool who just like wants to have a good time, talk about introspective shit, and you know, have a good time. And I think thank you for like reminding me that I'm the same. Like and for doing this and like you reaching out to me again and pushing me. But I respect that from friends.
oh, I don't do it with everybody, though.
Well, shit.
I
I
just,
mean,
I just, you know what it was, dog? Like I missed those random Sunday conversations, fool, on Zoom that we started
mm,
last year.
hmm
Because I don't have people that I have conversations like, and this is a podcast interview, dog. This isn't a lot of this information I already knew, fool,
I
right?
keep forgetting we're on a podcast.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We're
but
just
there's
chatting.
a lot of the information a lot of the things that we talk about eventually we'll record, but it'd be easier if we establish how the fuck we met, dog, and our foundations.
Hmm
You know, this is a foundational episode.
Yeah,
But I don't have that many people that I could talk to on that. Like, we're talking about meditation shit.
yeah,
I don't have that many people. I probably like one or two other people that I have conversations like about stuff like that.
yeah. Me
That's
too.
why I reached out. That's the reason I reached out. Now, after I did the interview with P Dog, I was like, why not start interviewing like the homies from fucking PDT, dog?
I think it's a fucking great idea. Like
Every
I'm still gonna tune in and listen to that one with P Dog, but like even hearing his voice and you two communicate, I'm like, wow, wait, like that's just refreshing as hell to listen to.
because I mean I got to see a lot of them, but I didn't get to talk with them like that.
Yeah,
You feel me? So it's dope to be able to put like time aside and then come together for at a point in time and just reminisce for a bit, but also like let the world know that we are interesting people.
hmm yeah,
I got
you're
this.
right.
Is it? I think it's interesting as fuck that you're a chef fool and fucking in Denmark fool, fucking from Jersey fool. Like that's a crazy ass. That's a resume fool. That's a crazy ass resume fool.
Yeah, I didn't think
Like,
I'd be here though. It's like
yeah, that was.
we
But it's like
all, we, yeah.
I just know
No,
a
I
lot
know.
of
Yeah.
people. I just know a lot of people with beautiful stories, dog. That I want to be able to just capture them on video and have. I just call these my digital diaries, dog. That's all it is.
Mm,
My YouTube channel is just a digital diary with a random fucking song full coming up like every couple months and shit.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a couple of random songs here. Like it's just that's what I am now. Fool. It's just a fool that just like is. I'm just telling a story, fool.
Keep it going.
Just an
This is
orator,
dope,
fool. Just an orator, and thank you for taking time out of your morning. Out here it's fucking midnight. But
is it
before
now?
we
Yeah.
end,
Oh shit.
I do want to ask you one question, dog.
What's
If you
up?
had the chance to talk to the 40-year-old Willie or the 50-year-old Willie, or even like the Willie from next year, What would you ask him? The future Willie. Like, hey Willie P, boom, boom, boom. What would you ask him?
Oh man, I'd probably, yeah, I would ask what, I'd be like, what has been the thing in your life that has like made you like really get to this point that you're at there? Because I'm at me now, I'm hoping that 40-year-old Willie's doing well. So, and I would like to live my life now in a way that 40-year-old Willie would would respect and appreciate. Although I lived my life when I was, 16 or 20, like 10 years ago, looking back now, I was not living the way I was I would have liked to in every way. So like,
That's where the sadness comes from, dog.
right?
Yeah.
So
Uh,
it's like 40 to 10 years in the future now, like I wonder if I'm going to look back and be like, feel that same way as I felt back to when I was 10 years before that. So it's like, I imagine I'll be doing better in some way psychologically, hopefully still physically, and with my relationships and career wise. I'm hoping that I'm still doing well. But what is it that maybe you got you there? And what's better about 10 years from that? Like 10 years from 40-year-old Willie, like what are you doing now that's better than then? Um, and I guess that's it. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, like I told you earlier, like this is a question I could ponder on forever, like and ask, like there, because part of me is like, there's more of an introspective thing I could say about it. There's more, I'm sure if I thought about it enough, there would be like a golden nugget question. Uh, but I don't know. I look at life a little bit as like, in order for me to make a good impact outside of myself, I need to treat myself really well. And I need to be a little bit selfish about, taking my time to do my rituals and keep myself moving and exercise and all the meditation things I do now and that stuff, just because uh, I know, like what we were talking about earlier, is like going to the gym. It's like, I know what happens if I don't do that. What happens if I don't go to the gym? What happens if I don't stick with a good diet or meditation and that shit? Like, what happens if I drink too much or if I smoke too much weed or something? I know the answer to that. So like that answer, I think, is what can help fortify the behaviors and the routines that can make you like a better person to other people. Because in turn, it's like that's what it's all about. It's like giving yourself to the community that you're in, the small community that I impact, which is, the restaurant here that I work at, and then my family and friends, my wife. Uh, and yeah, I can't give them the most unless I'm giving myself the most also. So hopefully 40-year-old Willie has some wisdom into how I can keep doing that. Yeah.
I have on my board, I just added that shit yesterday. It's something that a piece of advice that I came up with the other day. It says, falling a victim to my urges won't make me feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And I read that, I have to read that every morning because as someone that has been diagnosed with an addictive personality, right? Everything, a lot of the bad decisions that I made 10 years ago, dog, like, were because of urges that I had,
Mm-hmm.
right? The food, the drinking, the
Yeah.
substances, everything, things we do as men, like shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting those urges, dog, like in healthy ways,
Yeah.
but just knowing what happens when you do fall victim to them,
Mm-hmm. You
and ca-
pay.
and
Like,
you hate yourself. You feel like a piece of shit,
yeah.
dog.
Yeah.
I did that. I was telling somebody about how I've been able to stay sober without going to AA meetings and shit like that.
Mm,
Well, first of all, the health reasons, right? There's
for sure.
two, and then there's two events that I had to capture for that I try to recreate in my mind every time I feel like drinking. It's the moment, well, two of them. When I take the shot, it burns.
Mm,
When I have to drink a mixed drink, I have to drink soda, and I don't like drinking soda or sugary drinks. Well, technically four. And then when I drink the first brew, like how it just sits in my stomach,
mm,
it makes me feel bloated. And I'm already big, and as somebody has been trying to lose weight his whole life, that feeling of feeling like bloated, it does something to
mm-hmm.
me psychologically, where it
Yeah.
makes me feel fat,
Yeah.
like fatter than I already am, and it fucks me up and it lowers my self esteem. And it's like weird to explain, but that first like beer, because I like to chug my first brew, fool. And
Mm,
so it just sits in my stomach and I feel so inflated, all, and it fucks up my mental state, which leads me to keep drinking so I could forget about it.
right. Yeah, exactly.
And I remember those feelings. And then the other feeling that I try to capture is how fucking disgusting I feel like during a hangover.
Bro, that's
That
it.
feeling
Yeah.
is the worst feeling in the world, dog. Like you seen me at my lowest, dog, and those hangovers, fool, were going on at 19 to 22, fool. At
Yeah.
26, oh
No.
bro, I was doing cartwheels in my stomach, fool. Like I was dying, bro. Like I was
Yeah.
crying. Like I was one of the
The
last
acid
times.
reflux,
Oh, bro, one of the last times I drank, dog,
the burps.
I threw up, fool. I kid you not, fool, from like 10 in the morning to like 8 p.m. at night. I was just outside in my tree, fool. Just
Nasty
crying,
ass.
bro, just feeling like a piece of shit. Fool, I had a job interview that day, dog. I remember this shit. Like trying to like not puke during the job interview, like it was so sad, bro. Like it
Sorry.
was so sad on the phone, fool. Like just trying to keep my composure and shit. Like I was just like, the lady was asking me questions, and I'm like looking at my trash can, like, dog, don't do it, fool, don't do it.
Yeah.
And
You're
and
like, "Burp," one
I,
second.
I just had to like kind of just like program that into my cells, fool, to like not feel like that ever again, which has
Yeah, man.
helped me not drink because I hate that shit. I hate those feelings, those poor feelings. I hate them.
Yeah, it fucking
Who
sucks.
doesn't want to fucking drink? I love drinking, fool. I love that shit.
Yeah, same, man.
I
Yeah.
love that shit. But and then there's all the person that comes out, fool, when you're fucking drunk.
True.
That's a horrible
I
person.
love him and hate him too.
Yeah, yeah. But we've come to the end of the plática, my boy. Thank you again. One of my favorite people in the world. Is there any final words all you want to say?
I miss you and I love you, man. Uh, we've been through shit together, and thank you for doing this. Like, I don't know. I think I need people in my life who push me like this to do things like this and remind me of who I am and why we're friends and why we became friends in the first place. Because like, I don't know, I get caught up in my life here, and I live in a pretty small circle, so it's like I sometimes I just you know don't put enough effort into checking in with people, and it reminds me that it's not as hard as it seems in your head. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it's like just a quick shout or a quick text. It's all you need to do, and then it turns into this. It's like just like fuck it, let's just do it. And anyone who's also listening to this, like if we haven't been in contact in a long time, it's like I haven't forgotten you. It's like I haven't forgotten anyone who's made an impact on my life, or if we've been close or at any point. It's like I still have love for everyone I've been close to. It's just life's gotten crazy. It's like it's a lot's happened in the past few years, uh, good and bad. So it's, yeah, I'll be back in the States probably eventually to reconvene with a ton of people, but you know, I just want to give love to everyone that that's made me who I am, including you, my dude.
Well, it's all love. Like I say, you're one of my favorite people in the world, dog. You know, I got mad love for you, dog. Speaking like an East Coast motherfucker and shit. It's all
Hmm.
love, G. Like all those memories, and I love reminiscing. And you know what's funny, dog? Like when I went in September, a lot of the brothers were like, "Hey, you still talk to Willie?"
Mm.
It's like we were just inseparable, dog. Like we were just the dynamic duo. And whoever watches this, if it gives you a memory of what it was in college by seeing the both of us at that time, you know, and that time of your lives is like, you know, I hope
Yeah.
it produces a certain selfishly, I hope it produces a feeling in you, and it makes you reminisce about OWU. And I'm horrible about reaching out to people. We all are, dog. It's
Oh, fuck
hard, it's
that shit,
difficult. I don't
bro.
like talking to people anymore. But if you're watching this shit and you want to catch up with me, hit me up. I'm down. Like, fuck it.
Same.
Fuck it. Hit me
Same
up. We'll
here.
record a podcast episode. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? If you're on some bullshit, don't hit me up though. Like, if you're on some bullshit, don't hit me up.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Don't
If
try
you're
to
on
sell
some
me anything. Yeah.
yeah, if you're on some bullshit, don't hit me up. If you're on some like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been real clear about where my mind state is at. I'm not rowdy anymore. That shit's in the past. I'm not the same fool, but it's all love. And yeah, if you're listening to this, I want you to close your eyes and just picture Willie pulling up in his white Jeep, me rolling shotgun, bumping the most ignorant fucking Future song at the time. And I hope it takes you back to college. And for my peoples, if you're watching this shit, this was my fucking road dog in college. This is the fool that if I would tell you a story, he was most likely there. You know,
Sure.
and for your peoples, if they get to see this,
Hmm.
I'm O3. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm O3. Like, you know, we probably
They've
never
heard the
met.
stories. They've heard the stories, though.
You know, we probably never met, and you know, this is more about you than it is about me. And I hope people see this,
Yeah.
dog, and they hit you up and they're like, "Hey, Willie, you look healthy, dog." Like, you know, they hit you up. You know, they see this or see part of it, and they reach out to you, and then somehow you reconnect with certain people. I hope that does that for you, dog.
I would love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I
that
know
would be
there's
huge.
a lot of people I don't even know. Like, you might have shared it in your story for or something, and it's like, damn, Willie, I haven't talked to you, and boom, 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 you know,
Mm.
and shit. So, with that being said, if you're watching this on
Sure.
YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, the notification bell so you know when I drop another video or when I go live. I see you when I see ya. Don't forget to love yourself today, right? Adios. Stepping out the door with some fresh 90s, the old whites, the drips nice. Yeah, I'm icy, but I don't wear eyes. Still a fool that looks fly. Got my button down on, let's get lost in the